I grew up with you, listened to your music in high school and so forth. It just occurred to me, crazy thought this afternoon. When you're
Well, Blue Eyes, the voice, the chairman of the board, whatever you want to call him, Frank Sinatra is a name that echoes through music history. To honor the legend, here are 15 facts that will help you know the man behind the voice a little better. Sit back, relax, and get ready for a mix of fun, quirky, and downright surprising tidbits about the one and only Frank Sinatra. Despite being the head honcho at Reprise Records, Frank Sinatra hated the nickname chairman of the board. According to his third and last wife, Barbara, he found it stuffy and pretentious. So, next time you think of calling him that, remember you might as well be asking for a slap with a silk glove. While My Way might be one of his most beloved songs, Sinatra himself wasn't particularly fond of it. But that's nothing compared to Strangers in the Night. He famously called it a piece of sh*t, and the worst f***king song I've ever heard. Yet, he recorded it anyway and it became a hit. It's like when you cook a meal you hate but everyone else thinks it's gourmet. Remember that famous Scooby-Doo scat at the end of Strangers in the Night? It inspired the name of the iconic cartoon dog, Scooby-Doo. Former CBS exec Fred Silverman confirmed it. Just imagine, without Frank's jazzy improv, we might be watching the adventures of a dog named Too Much. At the 1994 Grammys, Bono introduced Sinatra in a way only Bono could. The chairman of the bad attitude. Rock and roll plays at being tough, but this guy is the boss, the chairman of boss. I'm not going to mess with him, are you? Frank loved it. Perhaps because Bono didn't technically call him the chairman of the board. Semantics, folks. Frank Sinatra was arrested in 1938 for seduction. The charge was later reduced to adultery, and eventually dropped when it was discovered the woman was already married. Sinatra was just ahead of his time, getting involved in a scandal before it was cool. In 1990, Sinatra launched a line of Jared pasta sauces inspired by his mother's recipes. Sadly, it flopped, proving that not everything touched by Sinatra turns to gold. However, you can still find Mama Sinatra's recipe online. And if you ever come across one of those jars, you might want to hold on to it. Talk about a collector's item. Before Pink Floyd and The Who made concept albums mainstream, Sinatra was already a pioneer. Two notable examples are 1965's September of My Years, reflecting on turning 50, and 1970's Watertown, a rock-influenced narrative about a man's broken life in upstate New York. Unfortunately, Watertown didn't fare well on the charts, leading to Sinatra announced his retirement in 1971, much to the dismay of his fans. But don't worry, his hiatus lasted less than 2 years. He returned with the album Oh Blue Eyes Is Back. Imagine a world where New York remained a Liza Minnelli song. Unthinkable. Asteroid 7934 Sinatra was discovered on September 26, 1989, by E.W. Elst at the European Southern Observatory. While the Bee Gees also have an asteroid named after them, Frank's asteroid doesn't just stay alive. It swings through the cosmos. Sinatra holds the title of the father half of the only father-daughter duet to hit #1 on the Billboard charts. The song? Something Stupid, performed with his daughter Nancy. Talk about keeping it in the family. Sinatra was honored with the Order of the Leopard in Bophuthatswana, a South African homeland, for his performances at the Sun City Casino. The hefty $1.6 million paycheck probably didn't hurt, either. Just when you thought his mob connections were shady. No, not the casino kind. In 1979, Sinatra performed at the actual pyramids of Giza for Egyptian President Anwar Sadat. Because when you're Frank Sinatra, performing in front of one of the 7 wonders of the world is just another day at the office. Despite his general disdain for rock music, Sinatra had a soft spot for the George Harrison penned something. He even included it in his live set towards the end of his career. Who knew OL Blue Eyes was a closet Beatles fan? On February 25, 1995, Sinatra performed this optimistic tune for a crowd of 1,200 at a golf tournament named in his honor. A fitting farewell from a man who always believed in better days ahead. Fittingly, Sinatra's tombstone reads, "The best is yet to come." Even in death, he leaves us with a sense of hopeful anticipation. Truly, the mark of a timeless optimist. So, there you have it, 15 lesser-known facts about the legend that is Frank Sinatra. Whether you love him for his music, his style, or his larger-than-life persona, there's no denying that Sinatra's influence is as enduring as his tunes. Here's to OL Blue Eyes, who always left us wanting more.